Welcome to our Sunday night live chat. Every Sunday we take a deep dive into learning how to live an optimal life, how to manifest your full human potential. Tonight, like every night, I'll try to answer all of your questions and maybe question all or at least many of your answers. So chat in anytime. Please chat in anytime with your questions and comments. I want to know what your interests are. I want to know your concerns, your opinions. I want to know when you disagree with me. Stand up and tell me where you think I'm wrong. Give me your arguments. Tonight we'll be looking at something that a lot of folks may have some conflicting opinions about. So I'd like to hear from you. If you've got a YouTube, if you have a Gmail account, you're able to chat in immediately. If you don't have a Gmail account, you're just listening to the chat tonight, that's great. You can, through the guidance of the channel, get a Gmail account right on the spot there, and participate directly in our chat tonight. So I have been listening, and all week I listen to your comments and your requests and your opinions, and I tend to get a lot of feedback during the week from the recorded, not just from people being on the chat live, but on the recorded version of the chat, which will be when we're done this evening. It'll be a relatively short period of time where this chat will be recorded, and you can get to it anytime at your own pace. But I have been listening to what you've been wanting to know about and talk about, and I thank you for that input. Thank you and keep those things coming. So coming to this evening. So as most of you know, I listen to what you want to talk about, and I also kind of pay attention during the week. I listen, and I'm always searching, always have my mind open, my ears open for possible content for our Sunday night chat. And I marry that up with the things that you've been asking me. And that's how I came to tonight's topic. So I was driving around last week, and I was listening, about midweek, I was listening to this program on the radio. And the program it was probably on public radio. I was listening to this program, and they were talking about online dating. And, the pros and cons to online dating, and, some of the things to be careful of, the pitfalls and the benefits and what have you. And they were also even talking about speed dating, which I found to be really fascinating. And during the conversation, this idea of soulmates came up. And I thought this was a great topic to chat about tonight. So we're going to be talking about this idea of soulmates. Now, I will say that I personally have not used a dating service. I've not used online dating, let alone speed dating. So that part of that is not my direct experience. But I suspect that many of you that are listening to me this evening may have some experience with this. So you are the ones I really want to hear from tonight. What is your experience? What is your opinion about online dating, soulmates, speed dating, any of these things we're talking about, how it all marries up for you? Although I have not done this online dating, I started to kind of dig in. I got online, and I remember some of the television commercials that I've seen, as well as some of the online advertising about dating services, and many of them use the promise, whether it's a direct promise or an insinuated promise, that through their service you'll find your soulmate. And they interview couples who claim that, through this service or that service, I found my soulmate. What does that mean? It got me really thinking, what in the heck does that mean? So I've developed some ideas about this. It really got me thinking about soulmate, because those are pretty powerful words. And what seems to be communicated from what I was listening to, is that the idea of a soulmate tends to be identified as one particular person that you are destined to find in this, this cornucopia of how many people on planet Earth. Okay, I'm just saying, how many people, 9 billion people on the planet now? But there's going to be one person that you are destined to find somehow this needle in the haystack, and your soulmate is that person. Now, I'm saying that that is the underlying message I interpreted from these dating sites, from some of the promise of these things. We're going to help you find that one person who will be your soulmate. So I want to kind of springboard off of that. And it's usually, and this is the other thing, this is the other parameter that I've read into it, it's a romantic partner. It's romantic, meaning that the relationship of a soulmate, your relationship to a soulmate is about finding a romantic / sexual partner, life partner. Okay, so this is the underlying advertising that I read into it. If you got a different idea, talk to me. Talk to me right now. Throw it at me. I want to navigate those questions and those ideas. So the idea I'm hearing is that people think that there's this unique person who's that puzzle piece that just fits you. Now start to think about how that plays on your mind. There's that one person out there out of 9 billion that you're searching for that's going to be your unique soulmate. What are the chances, guys? What are your chances? That particular service is going to help you do that. Maybe. So what this does is it sends to me, the message I'm getting is it leaves us hunting, stalking, if you will, through life, scouting for that perfect man or woman, the one who fits your idea of a soulmate, that person who completes you. There was a movie a number of years ago with Tom Cruise and I forget who else, but I think it was Tobey Maguire. I forget whatever it was. And this monumental love scene where the female says to Tom Cruise, the female actress, "You complete me." Oh my God. That's what the worldview is. Is that the common view of a soulmate? I think it is. I think there's a lot of people that believe that. I'm looking for that person to complete me, to fill in that missing piece of who I am, to help me find me. Now, in your home, wherever you are, raise your hand if you found your soulmate. Okay. So my sense of it is this, that this idea of finding a soulmate through the common definition that I've just given you, that I gleaned, those are the definitions I gleaned out of listening to the advertising, listening to the stuff that's out there. It leaves us feeling unfulfilled, unfinished, incomplete, because we're not finding that unicorn. We're looking for a unicorn. That one person who doesn't seem to exist because we've set up a parameter for that person to be unfindable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, been there.
Been there. We've all been there. I mean, okay, I've been there. I'm setting this up. It's got to be this magic person, this knight in shining armor, or this damsel in distress, or whatever the paradigm is. And we're looking for that person to complete us because we're somehow not complete without another person. That's the message. We're not complete without this other person. We got some problems going with that. If that is what's meant to be communicated, I have some problems with that. It makes things even worse when we find someone else. This is the worst part. This is the worst part. They'll interview somebody. "Oh yes, I found my soulmate. This is so-and-so, and we were bonded, somehow cosmically we came together, and I found my soulmate." "Oh my God, you found it and I didn't. I'm a loser. I've been doing this for 50 years and I haven't found my soulmate. And you did it and you're 22? Oh God, help me. I'm a loser." So you see what happens here? It's another way to feel like a failure. That one person, this glazed over eyes, I found that soulmate, the person who is in my destiny. Oh, there's a big word. It was my destiny to find this person. This is a load of crap. That's Doug's opinion. Argue with me. I think it's a load of crap. I think it's throwing us off, and it's really creating this sense of it's missing the mark on what even a possible balancing definition of soulmate could be. Where does this leave most people? it leaves most people, at least most of us, feeling like losers, right? We're losers. There's a small group of winners out there. Those 5 people they interviewed for the advertisement, and then there's a whole world of losers who haven't found their soulmate. Oh boy, another opportunity for me to be less than. Another time, another way that I've just screwed up in life and I haven't made the mark. I can't find the right job, I can't find the right career, and I can't find my soulmate. I'm a loser. You better sell me another product so I feel better about myself. Again, we're in a situation of very few winners and a lot of losers. If destiny or the universe or God or someone would just send me that magic person my way, my life would be complete and I'd be happy ever after. Well, and so what do we do? If I could just find the perfect person, if I could just find that perfect person, my life would be perfect. Without that, I'm adrift. I have no way of being complete and perfect by myself, or somehow complete with myself. But I got to find that magic person. This reminds me of a story. It's an old story, and it has it's an older story that comes out of the Middle East. But it'll translate really nicely for this. So there was this guy, and his name was Nasruddin. So Nasruddin lived in the Middle East, and he had a good buddy of his, and he had communicated to his good friend that he was in search of the perfect woman. And so years passed, and Nasruddin and his buddy found themselves having tea at a cafe. And Nasruddin's friend said, "So, how's your search for the perfect woman going?" Nasruddin said, "Well, I found this amazing woman in Cairo." "Oh, really, really, really? Tell me, how did it go?" "Well, she was beautiful, but she snored, so it didn't work out for us." "Oh, okay." So they drank some more tea, and Nasruddin said, "But I really found this another amazing woman in Damascus." "Oh, tell me about her. What was?" "Oh, she was wonderful, wonderful. She was beautiful. She didn't snore. She had great taste in everything. But her family didn't like me." "Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad." But Nasruddin said, "Yes, but I found this one special person, and I found her in Turkey. She had everything. Her family loved me. She was beautiful. She was intelligent. She had everything that I possibly could want in a woman." And his friend said, "So tell me what happened." "Well, it didn't work out." And he said, "Why didn't it work out?" "Unfortunately, she was searching for the perfect man." So it goes. If I just wish hard enough, it'll happen, huh? It'll manifest because I want it to. So what happens is, with this paradigm, it makes people turn. Where do we go? How do we find this person? How do we find our soulmate, as it's defined this way? Makes a lot of people turn to dating services. Okay. Some people may pray for it. Some people may wish for it. Some people may read books about manifesting your wishes. If I just wish for it, it'll appear out of thin air. And some people turn to dating services, which is fine. Some people even turn to speed dating. This is a really interesting phenomenon. I'm going to sidetrack just a little bit in a moment for that. And I'm not saying that speed dating or these dating services are bad or wrong in any way, but I want to put something in your head here. Are you fishing with the right bait in the right pond? Just think about that. You're going to get however you bait your hook, you're going to get what you're fishing for. So what we've done, what it seems to me, is we're looking for a soulmate. We're looking for that partner. And we more and more resort to either looking for divine intervention in some way, looking for some cosmic thing to happen, or we resort to resume writing, like we're going to look for a job. So we put ourselves out on this website or however, and we, even if we're honest, which many people are not, with the photos, and we build ourselves up to be something, and we build a resume, and the resume we're looking for a job, my income, my job, my interests, what are my hobbies, my grooming characteristics or whatever. Can I be clever? Oh, we got to be clever. Being clever is important because clever seems to work. I don't know why, but clever seems to work. If I can be clever, that means I'm sexy. And if does that make sense? Okay, been there. Okay, so clever is going to work. I'm going to be clever. I'm going to be witty, and that is going to. This is going to be how we assess compatibility for dating. Now, I was in this program I was watching or listening to, I should say, on the radio. They were talking about this speed dating, and this is really crazy to me. So speed dating, I don't know if you've ever done the speed dating thing. Have you? Okay. So I'm talking to Rob here. He's my producer, and he's on the other side of the camera here. But the speed dating, people are going in for 15-minute, I don't know, 10, 15-minute, 20-minute, sit down over a drink or what have you, and do a very quick dating job interview, all right, and see if it works. Okay, is this gonna work? Well, this guy had 15 dates lined up sequentially at the same place in the same evening. Man. And so what happened was they all ended up stacking up, and they all ended up, these 15 women, at the same bar with this guy. And they're all having drinks together. It all ended up at the end of all these dates, all these little things. They all ended up after they had this little interview with him. They ended up at the bar, and they all started introducing themselves to each other. It was kind of weird. It was a very strange parody of The Bachelor. Like they were all competing for this guy's attention. Now this is just weird. Come on, this is weird. This is not Soulmate City, folks. All right, so some of you out there, many of you maybe, have experienced some of the pitfalls of this type of partner search, whether it was online dating or resume exchanging, fake pictures, plain deception. Sometimes people are being deceived. Women tend to be deceived more than men, I guess, in this. But this whole deception thing, we deceive each other no matter what we do. People are always trying to put the best foot forward. I'm not really going down that path about the inequities or the pitfalls of online dating. That's not really my gig tonight. The question really is, what are you looking for? What are we looking for? What are you looking for? What are you searching for? And why are you looking for it? You're looking for a soulmate. If that's something that equates to you, if that's something that's come across your this is what I'm looking for. What is it how do you define it? How do you define a soulmate? Talk to me, folks. Put it on paper, put it on a chat. What does a soulmate mean to you? What are you looking for, and why are you looking for it? Maybe that's the bigger question. Why? Are you looking for someone to complete you? Are you looking for someone to save you? To validate you? Probably many of you are. Many of us are. What does a soulmate represent to you? What does that mean to you? How are you evaluating who a soulmate might be? Are you looking at the resume? Are you looking at these externals of who they are? Is that giving you the information? Is that really giving you the insight that you really need? I don't think so. I don't think so. You might get some idea, some appearance of compatibility in your day-to-day living. Oh, okay, you use that toothpaste, I use that toothpaste. All right, well, we're going to save on money there, okay? Or, oh, you like sushi, I like sushi. We both play tennis? Okay, that's good. I'm from Missouri. I grew up in Missouri. When we went fishing, we knew that if you want to attract the top feeder fish, like a bass, you put on a doll fly at the end of your line. Now, and you catch a bass, you catch a top feeder. If you're fishing for a bottom feeder, like a catfish, you use stink bait. You get what you fish for, folks. You just get what you fish for. You know, if you're looking simply at one aspect or certain aspects of a person, you're going to be assessing things at that level. You're going to get exactly what you're looking for. How do you determine what you want or need even? Do you have a clear perspective of what you want? I think that this is the basic issue here. Are you sober enough? And I'm not talking about alcohol or drugs. I'm talking about, are you clear-headed? Are you sober enough? Is your view of yourself sober enough to know what you want and need from a soulmate? Are you simply looking for someone to bolster your imbalances? Are you looking for someone to validate you? Are you looking to, are you having to bend yourself to someone else, or someone else has to bend themselves to you? How are you choosing if you choose a criteria for a partner from a distorted or imbalanced view of yourself? This is the point here. This is the big point. If we're choosing someone to be our partner and we have an imbalanced or distorted view of ourselves, you're dragging your choice of partner through the filter of your own imbalances. What are you going to get out of that? That's stink bait. You put stink bait on the hook, you're going to get what you get. You're going to get what you fish for. Now, I'm not judging people. I know that sounds like I'm judging people. I'm getting that you're not going to get what you're fishing for. That's me molding someone to my imbalances. We're looking primarily at superficial compatibility. Now, I will say, to go through life with someone on a day-to-day basis, to get up, use the same bathroom, use the same shower, do laundry together, cook meals together, get up and do all these things. Of course, there's a level of compatibility that just makes things work. I don't ignore that. I'm on my second marriage. I get it. I've been married, and I've been a married person for over 30 years of my life. I understand that you have to have some day-to-day compatibility to make a relationship work. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a bigger picture. We have to have a certain level of compatibility, but that compatibility doesn't mean sameness. In fact, I have found that sameness often leads to incompatibility. Oh, you like tennis? I like tennis. Oh, we're compatible. Oh, you like this? I like this. We're compatible. Maybe. Sometimes being different makes the relationship a little bit more workable. I found that. So, if you're looking for a partner with a clouded perspective of yourself, it's not going to work. So what is this leading us to? If you want a balanced relationship, you have to first what? Get your own stuff together, people. Get your shit together. Seek balance in yourself first. If you're judging from a lopsided ego self perspective of yourself, the results are going to be lopsided. You need to be at relative peace and balance with yourself before you can be at peace and balance with another person. Don't look for someone else to fix you. It doesn't work. Don't look to fix someone else. It doesn't work. So, okay, what does this have to do with a soulmate? There are those, and I really researched this a little bit in the last couple of days. It's really interesting, there's a lot of woo-woo stuff out there about soulmates. Some of it sounds really good at first, and you got to kind of dig deeper, and I want to address that. There are those in a spiritual direction say that soulmates come into our lives to awaken our souls, to evolve to higher levels of consciousness. Some say that those soulmates are those who come into our lives to help us fulfill our destiny. Doesn't quite fit what I'm thinking. You can disagree with me. Let me know. First of all, as you may know by being on this channel, listening to me before, maybe seeing some of the videos we've done, I'm working from this paradigm that the human condition is comprised of these two aspects of consciousness, these two levels of consciousness. We have the ego self, which is our thoughts, our body, our emotions, our day-to-day mind, our day-to-day consciousness. And then we have the other level of consciousness or awareness, our authentic self. Sometimes I refer to that as the objective observer. That level of consciousness is who we truly are. It's the level of consciousness that is capable of love, wisdom, and discernment, compassion. Okay. So the authentic self doesn't evolve. Our soul is not evolving. Our perspective of ourselves may evolve. Our awareness of our true nature and our dual nature of having ego self and authentic self may grow and evolve. But the soul, the authentic self itself, doesn't evolve to higher levels of consciousness. It is consciousness. So I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that aside. Okay. They help us fulfill our destiny. What's your destiny? My destiny. My destiny. Oh, there's another way for me to fail. I don't know what the hell my destiny is. I don't know what my meaning in life is. I don't know what my dharma is. What's my purpose in life? What job should I be? No. No one else is fulfilling your destiny. You are. Your destiny, your dharma, if you will, is unfolding moment by moment. It's not some magical place that you get to at some point. It's not some prescribed job description that the Almighty or anyone else is leveraging on you, in my opinion. Okay? It's an awareness of your day-to-day destiny. We make decisions in real time. I don't think anyone's... I had a question come in. What if my destiny is to be a mother? Your circumstances may be to be a mother. Your destiny? Oh, maybe it is. Maybe at the moment of being impregnated and at 9 months later of having a baby, yeah, your destiny at that moment is to be a mother. Does that mean it was ordained from some, it was written somewhere in a book of life? I don't think so. I think that book is written dated moment by moment, and that's a metaphor, by the way. That's not a real thing in my mind. We make decisions on a daily basis that determine, we make dharmic decisions, destiny-oriented decisions day to day. Okay, so soulmates are not some part of a grand plan that there's this person way off in Timbuktu that I'm going to somehow navigate to through the mechanizations of my life and making certain decisions that all of a sudden, like a movie, we live in a movie half the time. The movie or the story in the book brings us together through these serendipitous occasions and the soulmates meet. If we left it to that, most of us would live a very sad, hopeless life. But that's not how it works, at least not in my opinion. Here's how I see it. Soulmates, if we're going to use that term at all, and I somewhat balk at the term myself, to tell you the truth, but I'll go with it. I'm going to use that word. I'm not just going to throw it out the window. I'm going to take it and I'm going to work with it. Soulmates are those people, those persons who come into our life, who provide us a more ready opportunity to access and truly experience love and compassion, to connect with the authentic self, to provide that portal, whether it's a 5-minute relationship of interaction or it's a lifetime of interaction. A soulmate is one who either on purpose or inadvertently, helps us, or they become a portal for us to connect with our authentic selves, our true nature. That self, that part of us that is connected to true compassion, not the ego self. It's not someone we're necessarily compatible with on what toothpaste we use or what food we eat. The ego self, our body, our thoughts, our emotions, cannot really experience love and compassion. Only the authentic self can experience it. It is the source of compassion. If we're making decisions, if we're making these evaluations of soulmates based on the ego self, we'll never open ourselves. At the best we're going to get is someone I can live with. It's not someone who necessarily will be my soulmate. And by the way, soulmate doesn't have to be who you go to bed with. It doesn't have to be who you marry. It can be anyone. Okay? You don't look at the soulmate as attributes of the ego self. Liking the same things and being alike doesn't always make for a happy relationship. In fact, it doesn't even guarantee a long-time connection. Have you ever had a relationship with someone you were like in all sorts of ways and it didn't work? I have. I have found historically the people I was most like, if I found somebody who was just like me in so many ways, it almost was doomed to fail. Whether it was just a guy friend or it was a girlfriend or a partner, it didn't work. So clearly the mind, the intellect, is not capable of really determining a soulmate. We can find people that we can hang around with maybe, but we got to be able to dig deeper. A soulmate is one who helps you experience your soul or your authentic self. That's how I'm defining the soul. That authentic self, that part of you that is love and compassion. We're looking for portals to ourself through others. By learning to open ourselves to another, we're learning to tap into that source of love and compassion. A soulmate could be a child to us, whether it's our child or another. It could be my best buddy. It could be your best girlfriend. It could be your lover. It could be your husband or wife. Soulmates are simply those who help you access the soul. You may encounter a lot of them. Which means what? It means, if I am married to this person for 40 years and all of a sudden I realize that's not my soulmate, my life's trashed? No. Can I be married to this person and my soulmate's over here and live happily ever after? Yeah. If your soulmate doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Sometimes it is, and it has a whole new dimension if it is. But it doesn't have to be. It is a person who helps you access your soul. Sometimes these are fleeting engagements of relationship. They may or may not be romantic partners. So they may not be people of the opposite sex. And I'm not saying there are no soulmates. I say that I'm not eliminating soulmates from the equation. I'm opening the definition of soulmate. We've limited it to this. It's got to be the person of my sexual preference. It's got to be someone who I will either be married to, have a romantic relationship with, and But wait a minute, we're missing all these other opportunities to have accesses to love, to compassion. People who, through the nature of our relationship, bust open, they open our minds. We encounter people at different times in our lives, meeting our fluctuating needs. You can have happy marriages too. By the way, you can have functional marriages between two people who are not soulmates. I'm not saying it. So I'm expanding this definition. Huge. I don't think that soulmates, as I said before, help our souls evolve, because the soul doesn't evolve. The soul is evolved. It is consciousness. It's pure consciousness. It's our access to the divine. It's perfect. We just need to wake up to the fact and learn to access and live from the self, from that soul place. That's what a soulmate does. It helps us live from the soul place. That person, however it works, they're helping us, whether on purpose or not. They bust us open. They shift us. Every person on this planet, now we're going to just blow this open. Every person in our lives has the potential to be a soulmate. In essence, all the wisdom traditions of the world tell us this. Everyone is our soulmate, potentially. In fact, the idea in yoga, many of you who are listening to this idea of namaste, means the light of the divine in me recognizes the light and the divine in you, your authentic self. It means you, in essence, are a potential soulmate. If I open myself to your divine true nature, if I really recognize you for who you are, if a brief moment of recognition of you as that has opened my awareness to my authentic self, then in essence, we're soulmates. The movement of connection, our movement, the perennial wisdom tells us that the mission of our lives is to connect with the authentic self, to dispel this disconnection from ourselves, our disconnection from each other, our disconnection from creation, our disconnection from the divine, from God. This is our movement. This is where we're moving towards. Each interaction with another person is a potential soulmate in a relationship, but is going to expand us, connect us. Connect me to my true nature. Connect me to your true nature. I'm going to realize, wow, we are all related at a soul level, at a self level. Does that make sense? Okay. So what do you do? So where do we go from there? What do you do with that? You direct your efforts to learn to observe yourself objectively. You got to start with you first. Instead of running around town looking for your soulmate, start at home. Look at you. Assess yourself objectively. Bring balance to your ego self. Clear your vision of who you are, what your imbalances are. Bring peace and harmony to those chronic states of imbalance in yourself. Those filters we drag all of our decisions through. Every time I try to choose a potential partner, I'm dragging that partner through the filters of my expectations and my imbalances and my angers and my fears and all these other things. Let's get some balance there. Let's get some clarity there in ourselves. Let's clear the slate in our own perspective. Clear our filters. Now, what I've been teaching on this channel, what I've been teaching for however long, what I teach is this 4-step path. Path is p.a.t.h is a meditative process. Pause, assess, take action, heal. I teach it on this channel. I teach it from my webpage. The path is a meditative process that I teach in order to do just that, to learn how to look at yourself objectively, to balance those chronic imbalances in your ego self. So you have a clearer vision. So you have a greater potential to connect with your authentic self, and you have a greater potential to connect with another person at that soul level. Soulmates connect at a soul level in some fashion. Go back after this chat tonight. Go to the videos on this channel. Go to my webpage, warnerhealingguidance.com. Get my free guide. It'll coach you right there. Start to see what some of these techniques are. I have a process for this. This will eventually allow you to readily access a connection to that other side of you, your authentic self, your objective observer. With that level of consciousness, that eye of compassion, that perspective, you'll be able to recognize that a growing number of people in your world as potential soulmates. I've just expanded this. It's not just looking for the right woman or the right man. Every person is giving me the key to open my heart. every person is giving me the key to open my heart. And it may come to you in ways that you never expected, and usually does. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. Just get onto the channel, and if you agree with what I just said, just hit what you got to hit there to give me a thumbs up. Let me know that I'm connecting with somebody out there. Our direction is not to look for that one person, but to look for as many people as we can to be soulmates. Because all of humanity, all of creation, all of life is in essence our soulmate. You know, there's a story, it's a yoga story, about a woman, a mother who came to her guru and said, "Oh, Guruji, I can't wrap my head around this idea of loving God. I don't know what this God thing is. I can't get it. I don't understand. I can't even envision that." And the guru said to her, "Well, you have a son, don't you? You have a little son, right?" She said, "Yeah, I have a young son. He's 2 years old." "Do you love your son?" "Well, of course I love my son," she said. And he said, "That's it. That's where you start." Each person has the potential of being the key that opens our heart to open our access to that soul, that community soul, that we're all connected, the self, the divine and the sacred in all of us. This may give you a little more perspective on who may or may be an appropriate partner in your life. It's really what you're looking for. Sometimes we're looking for a connection to ourselves through love, and somehow we feel the only way to do this is through romance and sex. And I really wanted to dispel that tonight, is that we've been given this bill of goods that soulmates are about romance and sexual compatibility. That is a very small vision. If I'm going to use soulmate, I'm going to blow it out. I'm going to blow that definition out. Now, not to discount a romantic relationship, though, because it has its own. I'm coming back full circle. Mutual soulmates, folks, two individuals who have come to a place where they realize, for whatever time frame, they are the key, each other's key to opening themselves to this love, to this connection, to themselves, to others, and to something larger than themselves. And perhaps they do it in a romantic relationship. It's not required, but perhaps they do. And when they do, it's a beautiful thing. It could be two friends. It could be two lovers. It doesn't happen. It doesn't matter. But they find themselves in a dance. Soulmates dance. And in that dance, they uncover the experience of the authentic self, their divine connection. They consciously or unconsciously help each other balance their ego self. We all have imbalances in these external parts of who we are. But whether they're consciously or unconsciously doing it, we find that person for maybe it's a week, maybe it's a year, maybe it's a lifetime. I don't know. Everyone's different. But for that time frame, they help us get beyond ourselves. They help us get over ourselves, if you will. They help us get out of our own way. It's just by the nature of the relationship. And gradually, in this soulmate type of relationship, there's a gradual surrendering. A surrendering that fluctuating ego self desire. And we surrender what the ego self wants out of that relationship. And we surrender it to something larger than our individual selves, our small versions of ourselves. And in that soulmate relationship, there's a surrender. There's a surrender first to that relationship, that third entity. the ego self here and the ego self here, they come together and they create a third entity. And the third entity is not children or these types of things. It's the relationship. And the relationship over time is the connection, is that connection to a relationship to all living things, to all of creation, to everything that's divine and sacred. That is a soulmate relationship. I want to hear from you guys. We got a few minutes left here. We may end up just a little bit early this evening. We've got a couple time constraints on us. I want to hear some comments, if you would. I don't want to dismiss. I don't want to pass judgment on any of these dating things. I know this is a touchy subject. Many of you feeling lonely, feeling I need to find a partner. I need someone in my life, and I don't want to shoot down any of your attempts at doing that. And I want to find a soulmate. Doug, I don't like it. I don't like what you just said. I want a soulmate, and I want it now. And I'm going to say to you that if you go searching for a soulmate without doing your own work, without being content with yourself, without having balance in yourself, you're going to get exactly what you find, what you look for. If you're not happy with you, how can someone else be? If you're not balanced, is someone else going to balance you? Are you looking for someone to change you if you can't work with yourself? We have to do our own self-work first. This is the key. We have to make a movement. We don't have to be finished with our self-work. We have to be on the path of working on ourselves, get some clarity on that. We're looking for others. If we're looking for anything from anyone else, we're looking for opportunities to open our ability to love. We can't love with the mind. We can't love with our thoughts and emotions. This is not the essence of love. This is just strong emotion and opinion. We love and have compassion through a connection with the self, through the heart knowing versus the head knowing. We find individuals in our lives that assist us, hopefully a growing number of individuals that assist us on a regular basis to open our hearts, our compassion. I look at someone like Mother Teresa. You look at someone, wait a minute, soulmate, where's her soulmate? She had a whole country in India of soulmates. I look at St. Francis. He had thousands, if not more, soulmates. She wasn't looking for them in individual relationships in a romantic sense. She was connecting to them at their humanity, at their level of that soul level, that spiritual level, at that authentic self level. Everyone has the potential to be your soulmate. Every human being has the potential to be your soulmate. Some will be more attractive to you. Do you need a soulmate? Yes, we all do. But the first person you need that connection with is yourself. You have to understand, you have to start to get some range of motion and connecting with that level of the self within yourself. Go through, start to navigate the ego self a little bit. Instead of looking for others to fit your model, starting to learn to connect with people at a soul level. And you understand what a soulmate is. You'll be fulfilled much more readily this way. At first, it may seem like no one fits that paradigm that I mentioned tonight. If no one fits it. No one fits it. It's because you haven't done your own work yet. Eventually, you'll see that everyone fits it. Everyone fits it. Now, there's going to be people you're more physically attracted to, that you're more emotionally attracted to, interest-wise you're attracted to. There's going to be people you're more compatible with to live a daily life with. But a soulmate, I'm blowing that definition up. I'm blowing it out. I'm just expanding it beyond its typical, very confined romantic relationship, looking for my partner for life idea of soulmate. I'm saying soulmates can happen in that romantic relationship, but they can open up into all of us, every human being eventually being a potential soulmate. In reality, that's where we're connected. And that's where we interface with the divine. When do I know I found a soulmate? As you develop that intuitive sense in yourself, you'll know. Let me ask you a question. This is a question I just did a workshop the other day on the path process here in Seminole, Florida. And I asked the question to the students. I said, hey, we're talking about how do I know when I'm connected with that intuitive self? How do I know when I've made that love connection? How do I know when I'm accessing the authentic self? And I asked the class, I said, has there been a time in your life where, let's say it was a partner, let's just say it could be a job, it could be a partner, but let's just, since we're talking about this, we'll talk about a partner, where you were maybe dating someone, or you were seeing someone, and on paper, if you did their resume, they don't quite marry up. They don't look really good on paper, and everybody around you is saying, "Oh, no, that person's wrong for you. They don't make enough money, or they don't have the right job, or they don't have the right social status, or what have you." But in your heart of hearts, you feel that that person is right. Your intuitive, your heart knowing, there's a gut feeling. You just feel it's right. Doesn't make sense on paper. Now, you have a choice. You can listen to the head. You can listen to the talking heads around you who are telling you, don't go with that person. He or she is, they don't marry up. They don't have the right stuff. They don't have the right credentials. You could follow the head, or you could follow your heart. Now, I suspect most of you out there have experiences in both. You've sometimes followed the head. How did that work for you? You ignored your intuition. You ignored your heart. And some of you have, how did that work for you? And some of you followed your head, some of you followed your heart. Now, how did it work? When did you come up happiest? I think of this, I'll look at the same thing as in a job situation. You look at a job, or maybe even your major in college, but let's look at a job. A job looks really great on paper. Everyone says, take that job, take that job. That's the one. Look at the benefits. Oh, it's a great job. It's gonna blah, 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 blah. You make a lot of money. You're gonna live in a great place. But your gut is just saying, oh my God, this is not me. This is not me. And if you have that experience, what did you do? If you followed your head, or did you follow your heart? How did it play out for you? Okay. The same intuitive voice that has never failed you. And I will say that I've asked this question to hundreds of students, and every one of them has said when they truly followed their intuitive voice, it never failed them, whether it was a job, a relationship, or any other major life decision. That's how you know when you've connected with that person at that particular time as a soulmate. And you start to realize, I have this growing capability of connecting with multiple people at that level. It doesn't mean multiple romantic partners at one time. It means I've opened my heart. I've opened my intuitive connectedness with others in a growing sense. The human condition gives us this really nice playing field called romance, called romantic relationships. And it gives us this little comfy place to start to explore a cosmic connection. It's our little field of operation where we feel comfortable opening ourselves to another person, learning our range of motion of love, learning our range of motion of compassion, learning to expose ourselves and surrender and be exposed and be vulnerable. We can do it in the confines of a trusting relationship with another person. As we grow spiritually, we learn to open that to more and more people. We learn to figuratively, we can expose ourselves. We can become open and naked to more people because we realize that at that soul level, at that heart level, we're all connected. Does that make sense? Yeah. Denise, thank you for that comment. Yes, I remember you talked to me about that story about your husband. Thank you. I just want to start to wrap this evening up. There's a bell icon under the video, and you can click that bell icon so you'll get notified of new videos as they come up. I appreciate it if you would click that. I'm getting administrative on you right now. I thank you this evening for joining us, for chatting in, for the comments that came in. I really appreciate it. I said a lot tonight, a lot of things, a lot of food for thought. Maybe I challenged some of your ideas. Maybe I confirmed some of your feelings. I don't know. I'd like to know. This is going to be recorded. This chat tonight is going to be recorded very shortly after we shut down the live chat. If you didn't get a chance to see it all, or you want to come back and review it, or share it with your friends, that is a big thing you can do to help me out. Share this with other people. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. If you just subscribe to the channel, if you got a Gmail account, you can do that. Get a Gmail account, subscribe to the channel. That helps me. It helps build YouTube juice, gets it out to more people. I want to say that next week, we're not going to be going live next Sunday. We've got some travel involved next week, so we will be live in 2 weeks from tonight. I want to thank you again for being here this evening. We're about out of time. Thanks for joining. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Go to the webpage, warnerhealingguidance.com. View those videos. There's 60 videos on this channel. There's a lot of things to look at, a lot of different topics. Some of it's on the 4-step path. Some of it's on just applied philosophy to daily life issues. Get on the email list, and I hope you can join us in 2 weeks. Please invite others, share it with your friends, and until we meet again, thank you again. Until we meet again, good night.